What's up? What's up? What's up, good people? How's everybody doing? We on the late night. We rocking on the late night tonight. Welcome to the latest episode, man, of the Steelers Afterplay. This is week 16. The Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cincinnati Bengals in Pittsburgh, the last home game of the season. And the Steelers kicked it off with a bang. With a bang. What is this on my shoulder? Got a little something there on my hoodie. Let me get this off. It's going to bother me if I keep seeing it right there. But what's happening, good people? What's happening, man? Listen, most of you guys know, and gals, most of y'all know I didn't get to see the game in real time. So, this is going to be a different type of wrap-up. I did see the second half. So, I didn't do my normal note-taking and all of that. I'm at the dinner party. I'm yapping it up with my friends and family, and as we're in this place, the TV is right in front of me. I'm going to give y'all the outline of my environment as well. But let's really quick, man, say hello. Say hello and say what's up to the early commenters, and we'll get in here and have a little bit of fun tonight. Kev So Nice, the infamous Tim, James Tresvant, Tony Carlson, Y Diggy, Vista Light, Mr. Fleetwood, CT Pittman, Keith Van Nelson, Brother Mark, 1992, Sonny Roth Miller. Happy holidays to you as well. Eric McDuffie, my good brother Kenyon in the building. Kenyon, thank you again, my brother, for keeping me abreast of what was going on until I was able to see the second half as well. Vista Light, I think I already said Vista Light, but hey, I'll say your name again. JJ Walker, who is this? JJ Kennedy. Who else we got up in here? Ali Howard, D-Mac, Derek Moore, the BBJCC says, you glad you're here? Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Happy to be here. Justin, Justin, I'm going to try to pronounce your name. It says, is it Miniki or Miniki? Please, Justin, if you could give me the phonetic spelling on that, man. I hate saying people's name wrong. So if you can help me with that. Mr. Malvo. Who else? All right, that's about all we see. Still Lee as well. Still Lee. About 30 or so of you in here tonight, and I'm sure you guys will fill in as time goes on. I know it's late. I know I'm late, but most of y'all will understand why. Again, did not see the game in real time. This is the second week in a row that I had a dinner party to attend. Very good dinner party, man. My brother. You know how you have a cousin or a best friend that's so much more to you than just that. I call him my brother, man. My brother from since we was, as long as I can remember. His birthday is on Christmas Eve. It's always 6 of us. It's him and his wife, our other set of friends and his wife. So it's the 2 of them and then me and my wife. We always do this thing. The 6 of us is who we vacation with, celebrate birthdays with, et cetera, et cetera. But my best friend in the world, man, his birthday is on Christmas Eve, so we celebrated tonight. I was not going to miss that. And here's the kicker. It was in Baltimore. Let me set the scene for y'all. So we went to a place called, what was it called? Mama's on the, hold on, let me get the name right. Just in case some of you guys in the area and you want to try it out. Hold on, let me find it. It was called, hold on, I got y'all. Mama's on the Half Shell. Mama's on the Half Shell. It was in Baltimore. It's a seafood place. For anybody who's familiar with Baltimore, they do a lot of seafood things. Great food, but let me set the scene for y'all. So I'm driving. It's 4:30. We have to leave. My son had his basketball game. At 2 o'clock, day one, my little man got off in that game. Game is over at 3 o'clock. We had to run a quick errand and went back to the house, and we left here at 4:30 to head down there, right? So we leave as soon as the game starts. We leave. So my wife was like, you want me to drive and you can watch it on the phone? I'm like, nah, babe, it's cool. It's cool. I'll just check in on it when we get where we're getting. But she's telling me, I felt my watch going off. My Apple Watch is buzzing. And I could kind of tell when the phone or the watch buzz a couple times, either something good happened or something bad happened. So I know Kenyon is texting and I could feel it. Either it was him or Tony, but it was Kenyon. And then my wife said, "Oh, they already scored." I was like, "What?" Steelers had already scored at that point, right? We get to where we're going. We pull in the parking lot. We drive past the, mamas on the half shell spot, and I can see it's nothing but TVs in there, and the Steelers are on. So as I'm passing by, I glance and I said, "What? What? I know that's not what I think it is. That can't be what I think I saw. It can't be." I thought I saw it say 31-0. So I'm saying this to my wife, and she said, "Nah, it ain't too far from that." I was like, "What, 21?" She's like, "Yeah." At that point, it was 21-0. So we sitting in the car because we was a little bit early, and we're watching about the last 2 minutes or so. And right before the Steelers, stopped them on the fourth down or whatever, fourth down and 10 down in the gold area, the red zone area. And I'm thinking to myself, this is crazy. So anyway, I walk into the spot. Mind you, I'm in Baltimore. Nothing but TVs. People sitting at the bar. There's TVs all over, TVs there. We sit on the top level of the establishment, and where I'm sitting, there's a big TV right in front of me. But the funny thing is, because we're in Baltimore, nobody's reacting to the game. Literally, nobody. It was almost like the game wasn't on. So I just thought that was funny. I'm sitting in here watching our Steelers in Baltimore, having food there in an establishment with obviously nothing but Ravens fans. I mean, there was no one even talking about the game. I found that to be funny. But anyway, that's my story. Did not see the first half. I was only able to see the second half. So I'm just going to give you some quick perspective, man, as far as what I saw. When I come back on Tuesday, I'll be able to really break things down. And I want to hear from you guys tonight, too, the little bit of time that we'll be here. Want to hear some of your thoughts. But here's the thing. Let me pull up the stats. And I'm going to read a couple things off to you. And of course, we're going to talk about George Pickens. As you see, the thumbnail was George Pickens, and that is a clip, a picture from Madden. And I thought it was appropriate because he had some video game numbers tonight. So here we go, man. Let's look at some of these statistics. Listen, Jake Browning, continued to put on a relatively decent show in terms of numbers. They say here, let's see, he was 28 of 42, 335 yards, 1 touchdown, but 3 interceptions. Okay. Let's see who else had a relatively decent night. Stopped the run game from what I could see. It looks like they were 16 carries for 59 yards. Obviously, when you're winning, you're going to force a team to pass the ball a little more. T. Higgins. T. Higgins had a game. He definitely did. And I saw, in the second half, the touchdown that he scored, the 80-yarder. But he had 5 catches for $140 and a touchdown. Everyone else, pretty pedestrian. The next highest receiver was Tyler Boyd. 5 catches for 59 yards. So the Steelers did a relatively good job. But if we flip it over to the Steelers side of the statistics, Mason Rudolph, 17 completions, 27 attempts, 290 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Very good, serviceable game by Mason Rudolph. Like I said, I can't wait to really watch the first half to see how we scored the majority of the points and see his footwork and stuff. But I will say this about Mason Rudolph, from even what I saw in the second half, it looks like he was on his toes. It looks like he was bouncing. Looking here, looking there. I like that. Again, I don't have enough to assess his play because I want to keep repeating it, but I only saw the second half. But I liked some of that footwork that I saw from him. I saw some highlights in the first half. He had a scramble. Mason Rudolph looked decent out there, man. What a redemption game for him. Let's see. Obviously, Najee Harris had a relatively decent game. 19 carries, 78 yards, a touchdown, 4.1 average. Steelers did get over 100 yards as far as running. 30 total attempts, 113 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Calvin Austin, I believe, scored on a jet sweep as well. Well, George Pickens, man, 4 catches, 195 yards, 2 touchdowns. Phenomenal. So let me just talk about a couple things really quick, and then I'm going to come to you guys to hear what y'all thought about the game itself. First of all, big win for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm going to explain to you why. all of the chatter out there, all of the chatter about George Pickens and Mike Tomlin and losing the Steelers' way and all of that. So I thought this was good to see them respond in this manner. Very good to see them bounce back and respond like that, given all of the noise that was out there, right? I really liked the way they responded. That's what I like to see from this team. Whether this team is good or bad, I like seeing them respond like that. They don't just lay down. Prime time, I like it. I like it. And again, I still feel like, guys, this ain't the best team in the world. I told you that. Don't have any expectations for them. I pretty much felt like they could end up being 7-10. I said that last night in my before play video, and they surprised me. They came out and played. Okay. I love being wrong about the team. They didn't lay down. It doesn't look like the locker room has been lost. What a great way to respond. But here's a couple questions that I have for y'all. Everyone that was saying the Steelers need to trade George Pickens. How do y'all feel about that? Do y'all feel the same way tonight? I'm going to wait for a moment. I want to see. I want to see what y'all have to say about that. Y'all still want to trade George Pickens? Because I want people to keep the same energy. You have a right to have an opinion. You have a right to have your feelings and opinion change. You can always change your mind. Your opinion can be fluid, but I'm talking about those people who were so adamant. Do y'all feel the same way tonight? Because you should feel the same way when he has a great game. You should feel the same way when he has a great game. So I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. Let's see. G-Stack said, nah, let's keep him. Laughing out loud. JJ Kennedy says, yes, his trade value goes up. Okay, I'm not mad at that. If that's how you feel, I'm not mad at that. Penguin Game says, I don't want to trade Pickens regardless of his toxicity. Okay, I'm cool with that. Let's see. Mr. Malvo says, yep, here's why he's back to doing good things now, going to get attention as a number one, meaning doubles, meaning now DJ or Calvin or Pat will see more targets. Okay, I think you're answering someone else. The infamous Tim says, if you wanted to trade George Pickens already, you wishy-washy. Yep. Let's see. Stillberg says, laughing my off. I'm looking for those trade George Pickens comments. They never keep the same energy, Sim. Last week, Tomlin lost the locker room, and we was trading both him and GP. Facts. Tony Carson says, trade him when his stock is up if we're going to trade him. And that's a good point. If they're going to do it, they need to act now, right? But I'm just talking about those people in here. Y'all were going crazy about George Pickens. What's up, World Traveler? World Traveler, you left me a super duper long comment. I appreciate it. I read it, but my goodness gracious. I had to hit the old school grandma word on you. Goodness gracious. That was a long comment, but I appreciate it. It was a good read. He says, never said that he should be traded, but I still that he should have been benched. You still think he should have been benched? That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I'm never going to disagree with everyone's opinions and feelings. That is fair. Some people felt like he should be benched, and I appreciate you saying that. I do appreciate you saying that, keeping the same energy. Anyone else? Diane said he needs to grow. I fully agree with that. And here's one more I'll read. Aslov says, never wanted to trade him, but we're going to gotta fix his diva type moments. Don't need an AB drama again. Fully on board with that. And again, if you guys remember what I said last week, as well as what I said last night, listen, and I think I did a separate video specifically on George Pickens. If you saw that video, shameless plug. But I said, look, man, the word for him is maturity. It's maturity. I said I was not ready to walk away from George Pickens. No, maturity. He just needs to mature. And I do understand the sentiment of some people saying you can't allow that in the locker room. I get it. Even some of the talking heads are saying it. I get it. But at the same time, I will say this, at this moment, just like I said in that independent video I made, at this moment of the donation. Round of applause to CT Pittman. Let me interrupt myself. I appreciate the donation. Oh, hold on. Trying to give you a round of applause, and I don't even have the program up. Here we go. Round of applause. Hold on. Here it comes. Forgive me, y'all. I just got back in the house, man. Here we go. Thank you, CT Pittman. I appreciate that. He says, Pickens is a prime example of why you got to give guys time to mature and develop. And I like the fact that he said he's keeping receipts. Yeah, y'all saw that. Y'all saw George Pickens do this? Said he ain't listening to y'all. He said, shut up. But like I said, and I'm going to stick to that, man, let the kid mature, man. Why y'all ready to... It's funny how sometimes we get in our feelings. We in the moment too much instead of letting it all sink in. Like, why y'all ready to trade a talent like that? Give him a little bit of time. Now, if it persists, if he continues, then we got to talk. But I still just felt like it's a little too early to talk about trades. I appreciate the brother, man. He had a good game tonight. And yeah, so that's all I got to say about that. Should he have been benched? It's like I said before, the Steelers are still, quote unquote, in the playoff race. I mean, benching him in week 16, what does that do? I get it. I do get it. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I don't understand why you bench him and you don't want to reward that behavior, but you're in a tough spot, man. Who do you play behind him? You know what I'm saying? And we got another donation. Round of applause to Stillberg. Appreciate the donation. Thank you. He said Tomlin said he was interested in a little wine. Tonight he had a few cups of Henny. Tomlin's backgrounds give him a better connection to players. Yeah, man. Listen, I get it, guys, and I really love what Ryan Clark had to say. If you guys had a chance to catch him on Get Up, where he said, "Listen, you know that's my guy. We are friends to this day. That's one of my main men." He went on the limb and said the same thing I said. Listen, this dude is a great coach, great leader of men. Maybe the time has run its course. That's what he was saying. But specifically when he talked about behavior, he said, Mike Tomlin's thing has always been, and he said he's the only coach that ever allowed me to be who I was. As long as I was everything he expected from me in the game, in the practice, as long as I put on my steel-toe boots and my hard hat and came ready to work, he allowed me to be who I am. And he said, sometimes you have guys like AB or Martavis Bryant, and now people say George Pickens, who kind of blow that up because Tomlin is allowing them to be individuals, but they're not producing. And I can listen, whether you agree or disagree with that, if that's always been his thing, I mean, what are we gonna say? We cannot agree, but it's like, I always listen to the players. So what Ryan Clark says resonates with me more than other talking heads. Because not only did he play, he was in that building. And he said, he thinks the time has run its course in Pittsburgh. He said maybe Mike Tomlin needs to go elsewhere. He said emphatically, I'm not saying he not the coach. I'm saying that maybe he should be done coaching in Pittsburgh and every other team should be beating down the door trying to get him in their organization. And I've been saying that all along, that if the time has run its course, who can be mad at that after 17 years? However, word is coming out already. Tom Pelissero said it, and I seen somebody else report it. Sources are saying that the Rooneys have no desire to get rid of Mike Tomlin, and the plan is to extend him. So for you guys who hate Mike Tomlin, I don't know what to tell you. Looks like days might end up being dark for you. So the second point I wanted to make about Mike Tomlin, I'm going to ask another question in the chat, and then I'm really going to come to the chat and just chill with y'all for about 10 to 15 minutes or so. We'll see how long it goes. Here's my second question. Every week I say this, right? I'm consistent in what I'm about to say. I think when coaches lose, they get too much blame. Sometimes when they win, they might get too much credit. But here's a question I got for y'all tonight, because people love to say Mike Tomlin ain't have his team ready to play. And I always say, man, you approach the game the same every week. So tonight, who do y'all give the win to? Who do you credit? Do you give Mike Tomlin any of this credit tonight? So that he so-called have his team ready to play tonight? Who gets credit for tonight's win? Because I rarely hear any type of round of applause or good job, coach. I rarely hear that when we win. So I'm curious to know how y'all feel about the game tonight. The game tonight. Does the head coach get any of that? Does the head coach get credit for starting Mason Rudolph finally and not playing Mitch Trubisky? Or, maybe some of you are going to say, oh, well, they should have been did that. I'm just wondering, does he get any credit for the win tonight? Just curious. What y'all got to say about that? Alan Olive says none. Okay, says none. All right. D-Mac says Mason and George, offensive coordinator. Wow, okay. Steeler Car says Mason is QB2 next year. Cut Mitch. Okay. Alan Olive is saying the players. All right, Alan, so can I ask you this question? When they lose, do you blame the players as well? Or do you blame the head coach? That's a question specifically to Alan. I'm not trying to persuade you one way or another. I'm just trying to get understanding because, like I said, it's oftentimes fans, and especially in this chat, people's opinions change like the wind. So Alan, do you feel the same way? Because I personally feel like there are distinctive things that players do and coaches do. And I'm often on the players' point of it. They executed, they played well, the coaches put a game plan together, and then there's specific coaching things that you can see. So I'm usually more leaning towards players, but I want to know, Alan, when we have lost, do you also say it's the players? Leonard Green says the O-line blocked better tonight. Okay. Tony Carlton says out-coached the Bengals twice this year. Okay. Someone else is saying Mason George, offer coordinator and defensive. Okay, so y'all giving all the credit to position coaches now. Okay. Kenya says Mason Rudolph is it? Oh, okay, he's talking about him just being a career backup. Tony Carson says Tomlin outcoached McVay this year. Okay. Steelberg says, no, I give credit to Cowher. Tomlin did this with Cowher's players. I like that, Steelberg. Thomas Israel says GP the best receiver in the league, but he need a competent quarterback to get him the ball. Okay, that's more about GP. Kenya says Tomlin gets the credit. Rajan says Tomlin doesn't get credit if he wins. He only gets the blame when he loses. It seems that way, man. Definitely seems that way. Diane says, I feel they all coached and played tonight. Like this was the last game and the last job for, oh yeah, man. And I can't wait to watch the game in full. I'm probably going to watch it tonight before I go to bed. Chris, the Slavin says, give credit to TJ and Pickens for making plays. Okay. So coach don't get no. I'm just curious to see how people call it. I'm not trying to persuade anybody. Mitch is all but gone now. Yeah, he got to go. All right. Anybody else say anything? Nobody else said anything about the coaches. Oh, wait. Allen said something else. He says, Harris said 3 weeks ago about Mitch at quarterback when asked by the media. He said, Mitch talked a good game. You're asking someone who watched the entire 70s teams play in Pittsburgh. Tomlin's a good motivator. I couldn't stand Bill Cowher. I'm the wrong guy to ask about the head coaching. Wow. Okay, so Alan, you didn't like Cowher or Mike Tomlin, so you can't be pleased. So cool, but I feel what you're saying. See, if you lean on the players, I'm not mad at that at all, my man, because I do think players should get more credit and blame in times. And then, of course, there's obvious coaching things that you can see that you give credit or not. So that's kind of where I stand with it. So I appreciate you guys answering that. I'll read two more. David Jones says Tomlin should have made the switch after the Cardinals game. Okay, that's fair if you want to say that. The infamous Tim says, credit coaches if I see players being in position to make plays. I blame players if those plays aren't being made. As simple as that. There you go. There you go, man. There you go. Alan says he's spoiled rotten. I'm not mad at you at all, Alan. I'm with you, man. I love hearing people's perspective. Christian says, I didn't like how the QB coach stopped Mason from hitting 300-yard mark tonight. He clearly making it known that his guy is Kenny. Christian, I wouldn't read too far into that. I doubt very seriously that a coach was holding Mason Rudolph back because Kenny is the guy. Because let me explain to you. Kenny will be starting when he's healthy. I want everybody to understand that. He's gonna start. I don't, and that would very much shock me if they continued to roll with Rudolph, because Kenny is the guy that they have to invest in, guys. He was the first round pick. He's the guy. So I doubt very seriously that, for one, any coach would be intentionally not trying to allow Mason Rudolph to have a better game. I think the Steelers probably continued to run the football because they were up. Now it's a clock management thing. And two, that wouldn't matter. Kenny Pickett is going to be the guy. So there you have it. There you have it. My man, Why Diggy, man, I missed his comment, but I see it now. He says, I'll give Tomlin his due tonight. He even up, and we have a donation. He says, I'll give Tomlin his just due tonight. He even had a good challenge, but he should have started Mason against Indianapolis like last week. And listen, I can't disagree with any of that. I can't. I will say I think they kind of held on to Mitch a little too long. Remember, I even asked the question on the show. I was like, what is it about Mitch Trubisky that makes you feel like you must run with him other than his price tag? So yeah, if we want to blame coaching on anything, I could definitely say I think maybe a week or two too late. Maybe give Mason Rudolph a try, man, a little earlier. But hey, they made the switch. I'm just glad to see the Steelers play a good game of football tonight, man, regardless of what happens in the rest of the season. It's good to see that. Shout outs and thank you to J. Armano. Round of applause for the donation. He says a coach who lost his locker room won't get effort like that from his team. Tomlin gets credit. That's how I feel too. They showed up tonight, man. Highest performance from a Steelers receivers since 2017? I think they said since AB. Phenomenal game tonight, man. Like I said, I can't wait till I can analyze it and really see how everything played out from the offensive line to the defense. I want to see how those interceptions happen. I did see highlights of the interception by Peterson, I believe, in the red zone, or in the end zone rather. And I'm guessing, y'all can correct me, did Peterson play a lot at corner tonight? Like I said, man, trying to eat and conversate and watch the game, I won't locked in like that. And again, I only saw the second half. Was Peterson playing a lot at safety? And I saw a lot of you guys saying Eric Rowe showed up tonight. I think he got a pick. Good to see that. I saw Miles Jack out there. I also saw, hold on. Number 38, once again. Looks like number 38 was the culprit on that slant to T. Higgins in the second half. I am sick of this guy. This guy right now, this is how I feel about him. Should they let him play again? No. Get him off the field. Somebody said 29 was trash. I thought it was 38. I thought it was 38 who really gave up the position on that. I could be wrong. But either way, 38 still got to go. But yeah, man, I didn't like that. It was a beautiful thing to see, even though I didn't see it in real time, seeing the replay of the slant of our own. I was beyond surprised, but my wife was telling me driving, she was like, yo, they already scored. It says 86-yard touchdown to George Pickens. I was like, what? 86 yards? So I asked her, I said, I wonder, was it a slant? I said, was it a slant or maybe it was a deep ball? She didn't know, but then of course I saw that it was a quick slant or a skinny post, it looked like, and George Pickens did the rest. What a catch. Remember down that left sideline when George was falling down and he kept his feet in bounds? Outstanding catch. And then another deep ball for his second touchdown. The Pickens, you know, the Rudolph to Pickens connection was connected tonight. It was a beautiful thing to see, man. So like I said, I can't wait to analyze the game and kind of see how the ebb and flows went, play calling and things of that nature. It just seemed like a great showing, man. Just looking at the statistics, they didn't do too much, you know, as far as, let me see how many total yards they had. But George Pickens getting off, man. Let's see, total yards. See if it'll show me that. They had 290 in the air. What's that? Okay, they put up 400. They had over 400 yards. Yeah, from the looks of it. That's good. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Actually, hold on. I can go right to the stats and it'll show me total yards. Almost. They were at 397, it looks like. 397 yards. You know, just a smidgen over 100 yards total rushing. George Pickens have his wonderful day. And right there, they produced 34 points. Come on, man. I mean, I can't get used to seeing that, but I just think from what the half that I did see and looking at the stats and looking at the defensive effort, these boys, they did their thing, man. They played a very solid football game. They kind of played the way I hoped they would play when I talked about last night, when I talked about what they needed to do in terms of, you know, just being able to come out and perform the way that they needed to perform in order to get a win. And they kind of did that, man. They kept the run game in check. They did give up some stuff in the passing game. That one big passing 80-yard strike to T. Higgins, but you know, they kept it manageable. And the fact that we were able to strike back after that touchdown, getting a touchdown of our own to go up, I think at that point it was 31-8. That was money right there. That's how you respond. So yeah, 3 interceptions. Let me see how many sacks. Let me see. Did we have sacks tonight? Let's see. Defense. Miles Jack had a sack. TJ Watt had another sack. Alex Highsmith had a sack. I remember seeing that. So we had 3 sacks on the night. Chris Boswell was 2-2. 2 for 2. So great overall team win, man. You got to be happy about that. That's all I got for y'all tonight. You know, I just wasn't going to not give you something. You know, I'm going to stay to my commitment and at least do some type of show regardless of what time it is. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Up. We got a donation. Round of applause to CT Pittman. Appreciate it. He said Najee was phenomenal running downhill and between the tackles. Very, very good to hear. Very, very good to hear. So, all right, guys, let's read a few comments. Maybe I won't spend a whole 10 minutes, but let's just read a few comments and then we'll get out of here. I've already been here 36 minutes. So maybe I'll go until 40 minutes and that'll be good. Let's see what y'all got. Still a card says JPJ will be fine. GP just needs to mature. KP is where the problem is. Yeah, You know, the light is shining bright on Kenny Pickett right now. He's going to have to show and prove, man. When he gets back in there, he's going to have to show up. Yeah, Highsmith had a sack and a pick. Outstanding. Randy Wagner said this game felt like the best game of the year. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. From top to bottom, it clearly was. You know, I don't think we could none of us could disagree with that. The infamous Tim says people need to stop complaining so much about JPJ and these penalties. Look, we knew exactly what type of corner he was we were getting. We all knew he was a very grabby and ain't it a reason we liked him? Yeah, that's true. That is true, man. And even, you know, it was cool to hear Terrell Austin kind of say, look, you know, we just got to keep hammering the point home. He'll get it eventually. And, you know, he might be finally, I don't know. He got another penalty tonight, but I'm with you. You got to let him grow, just like we were saying all these other players. And just outside of his injuries, penalties. Outside of his penalties, the kid has played well, man. He has really played well, and he is a bright spot. So I am definitely happy to have JPJ in the fold, man. Alan says they played hard from start to finish. I'm happy for them. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well. Appreciate that. Who else we got? Real quick. D-Mac says, man, loved when Mason tucked the ball and got us set up for a first and goal. Almost jumped like... That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, man. Like I said, from the moments I saw, even in the second half, I liked the way he looked in the pocket, standing in there, you know, head on a swivel, bouncing around. Even when he was looking for places to go, didn't check it down. That's what I'm talking about, KP. Kenny Pickett, Kenneth, study. That's where you need to improve. Because like I said, I think Kenny Pickett has talent. Problem is, this dude is just, I don't know what he be doing in the pocket, and he don't read the field. If he could just get that, there's no doubt in my mind that he can play as good as Mason Rudolph played tonight, or maybe even better. Who knows? And I'm not downing Mason Rudolph. I'm just saying there's no reason why we can't get that type of performance from a Kenny Pickett if he just steadies himself in that pocket and reads the field. But if he don't, hey, maybe we have to move on. The camera froze on me, guys. I think the camera may have died. Hold on. Yeah, I think the camera died, guys. So I'm going to take myself off the screen for a moment. Let me see. I got to put something up for y'all. Hold on. Well, I'll put myself back up on the screen. No big deal. I'll only spend a few more seconds here. Yeah, the camera died, man, guys, because hold on, let me see. I think it died on me because I messed around and I left it on. And even though I got it plugged into the computer, doesn't have enough juice. Hold on, let me see if I can get it to come back. Hold on. Nah, it says battery exhausted. But that's all good. Maybe that's my cue. That's my cue to roll out. They said the Bengals fan is doing that. But yeah, that's my cue to roll out, man. I guess we'll go ahead and end it here. But like I said, man, great team win tonight. We'll talk more on Tuesday. Listen, for all of you all who do celebrate Christmas, I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas. Somebody said Tomlin's fought the camera. Hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, man. Happy holidays. Enjoy your families, your loved ones, your kids. For those who got them, parents, you know, all of your family. I hope y'all enjoy Christmas, man. I'm sure my little man is going to be happy with his things. And yeah, I hope everyone has a happy holiday and Merry Christmas. And I'll be back to you guys on Tuesday. And let's definitely tune in. I think we're going to see some good football on Monday. That Ravens-Niners game has got me intrigued. So I can't wait to take a look at that. But outside of that, man, enjoy football tomorrow. Again, have a lovely Christmas. And I'll be back to you guys on Tuesday. For those of you who are new here seeing this video, let me throw it on the screen really quick. Right there, Terrible Towel Tuesday. You can call in. Phone number's right there on the screen. Hopefully Blog Talk works for us. Area 619-924-0818. I love to hear your thoughts and opinions. And I'm also going to look into that Discord situation maybe by Tuesday. So if Blog Talk doesn't work, maybe we could try an audible. But yeah, there you have it. 8 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday, and we will really dive into how this game unfolded and a look ahead to Seattle. All right, man. Y'all stay safe. God bless. Good night. Stay healthy. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Like always, thank you for tuning in to the Steelers Afterplay Week 16 versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Peace.